Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Rogio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Beck, and this is Speed Scene Live. Welcome to another Tuesday night under the lights here in the studio. With us tonight is the lovely Alex Rogio. Just to the left of her is the always handsome Scott Lucky Hudson.
Less lovely, but I'm still here anyway.
And manning the board, keeping us in line, is Bruce Barker.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. And thank you, Bob.
And in the first round, we will have...
We've got some great video right here from the Great Bend, Kansas track. This is the Speed Scene Live Nationals. This is the Fast Door Slammer class. And while we're showing you this, we're going to tell you that coming up, Hillbilly Arm Drop Drags, August 30th and 31st at Combs Airport, located between the cities of Prestonburg and Paintsville, Kentucky. Go to armdropguide.com for more info, and we will have Kent Rose on the show next week telling you all about it. And if Kent Rose tells you about it, if he tells you it's Christmas, hang your stockings, brother, because he's going to tell you the truth, and all the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
That's Kent Rose.
And hey, the world famous ANRA Summer Nationals is coming up August 23rd to 25th at Bakersfield. Why, that's this weekend.
The badge.
Cool. Are you going there, Lucky?
I'm trying to get there.
Trying, okay.
I'm trying.
I was thrown off there at the beginning. I thought Bob was going to introduce Lucky as Lovely.
The lovely.
Lucky.
That was last week. He's changed since then.
I passed a guy down the street on the way here. It was Lucky Hardware, but they spelled it with no C.
I noticed that.
Luky.
Oh, if you go in that place,
Lucky
though,
Hardware.
there's some crazy aircraft and car parts. You could build a monster garage type, just some weird, strange vehicle over there.
How do you pronounce that?
I think it's Lucky, but I don't know. It could be Lukey.
Could be Lukey.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Well, anyways, we can't forget to talk about Industry Hills Speedway every Wednesday night. Donnie Couch will be here in studio soon with some great Speedway footage. And this Wednesday is the last regular points race of the season. And August 28th is the State Speedway Championship race. So make sure you go check that out.
We got to check that out.
Yes, in fact, because Alex said so.
I will.
It's even more of a reason to check it out.
Right.
Hey, we love it when you send us your photos of our logo. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah, here's one, and this one is seen at, speaking, Alex, of Industry Speedway, Industries like that. Yeah, look at this. This signage, you can see right next door to it is the Monster sign for Monster Energy drinks, and it is huge.
Right in one of the turns. So every Speedway guy, that's the last thing they see before they hit that brakes. Well, no brakes. Before they hit that corner with no brakes.
Yeah. So, for now, it's pristine. Maybe in a few weeks we'll see what it looks like after they miss that turn.
Good tire tread going across it.
Yeah, exactly. So, want to show you a couple of shots, too. There's some M&H Tire activity going on here. In no particular order, by the way, Lucky. So, maybe you can guide us through this stuff.
Well, I was at the NMCA race at Bakersfield, and they had some bad front tires that had some checking on them. You can see them here, brand new tires mounted on the whole shot rims, and we went ahead and mounted them up. The tech guy said, hey, man, the tires aren't worn out, but your old tires, they're about, 4 years old maybe. Mm-hmm. He said, they look like they could go, and I don't want you to take a chance on wrecking your car.
Well, they don't touch ground often.
Well, so we jacked the car up, pulled the front wheels off, got some new M&H tires for the front, took them down to the tire guy and mounted them up, and we were good to go. So, hey, when you're at the drag race and that tech guy's looking at your car, remember, his job is not to just protect the other racers, but also to protect you. And here's John from M&H Racemaster signing every set of tires he sends out the door. This is a tradition that his dad started back in the 50s. And every set of tires that they ship you, he will personally autograph for you.
That's cool.
Wow, how about that? I'm as well, of course, with M&H Tires. I'm a huge fan of your whole shot wheels. Those things are gorgeous, man.
They look great on the car, and the M&H tires, they perform flawlessly. So when you're getting ready to buy those new tires, take a look. We got a link on our website. Take you right to their link. They'll ship them right out to you.
Nice.
Well, Alex, and speaking of racing at the track and stuff, you were recently out at the Irwindale track.
Yeah, I was talking to Bob. He, was doing his announcing thing like he does all the time. Seems like you do that.
I'm someplace.
You spend a lot of time announcing, man.
I'm someplace sometime.
We finally got to test all of the new stuff that we put on the car, and I think we have some photos.
That's right.
Now,
like for instance,
for people that don't know, you took this car that you've been racing for a while and stuck this super powerful blown Hemi motor in it, and then you discovered that, wow, we're making a lot of power now. Now we got to look at other stuff, huh?
Right, like now we can't get the tires to stick to the track, so every time I hit the gas pedal, I just sit there. So what we did was we put on Strange Engineering double adjustable front shocks and struts, and there's a photo around somewhere.
Somewhere
it's
coming
there.
up.
It's hidden.
It'll be here soon.
Yes. Mountain View Performance. It's in Rancho Cucamonga. It's located at the same place that's. Oh, you got mail. It's located at Mountain View Tires headquarters, and they have an excellent fabricator there named Dave Beckley, and he does all these wonderful things for the car. He made a custom mount for us so we could have a sway bar link. That was a photo of a double adjustable dual position pedal stop, because at the ET finals last year I broke the accelerator pedal at launch and lost a round because of it. So ever since then we've tried really hard to make sure that doesn't happen, because it's such a silly way to lose.
Now isn't Mountain View the same guys with Vince Nobile,
That's
the pro
right.
stock racer?
Yes, they are the main sponsor. Mountain View Tire is the main sponsor for the pro stock car, Mountain View Tire pro stock car, and they have, a lot of people don't know, but they have a really, really excellent shop in Rancho Cucamonga. They do tons of custom fabrication. That's just one little neat trick that Dave Beckley did. It's a air valve thing for, basically we need to pump up the rear end when we tow the trailer so that it doesn't sag on the ground, because we got new shocks, and this is a neat little place we can fill up the airbags so that we don't drag the rear bumper on the ground when we're towing.
That's
nice.
Right. Yeah, because unlike most race cars that get towed on a trailer, you tow your trailer with your race car.
That's right. Yes, it's a 12x8 trailer, and we bring a lot of stuff to the races, because we have to change all 4 tires, we have to take the seat out, we need all these tools, and a whole bunch of stuff needs to happen before we can get on the track. So that's just some quick examples of the amazing things that can be done at Mountain View Performance.
So now that Mountain View worked on the car, then did you take it to Irwindale and run it?
Yes,
and
I took it to Irwindale.
How did it do?
It did pretty well. We had some trouble the first couple of passes. There's a video coming up, but basically, okay, you'll see it right here.
Well, what am I seeing?
Yeah, I think that's the
this
voice
is the
of
first
Bob
pass.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you're spinning the
You can
tires.
see the smoke just pouring off the tires. I probably could have lit them up the entire 8th mile if I wanted to, but I figured I might as well save the car and get out of it. So
Well, they were new tires anyway. You had to break them in.
I did. They were brand new tires. You know your stuff. And this is the best pass we made of the night.
Much less tire smoke. Seemed like it hooked up better.
It did.
Yeah, it surprised that Corvette big time, too.
Now,
I bet.
what did you do? Did you make adjustments, lower air pressure?
Both of those things. We adjusted both the front and rear shocks, because they're double adjustable, all 4 of them. And, we're just really in the beginning phases of testing all of our new equipment, and made a few subtle changes between rounds, and the Mountain View people were there with us, helping us out, and we ended up running a 7:14 pass at the end of the night, just before we accidentally cut a belt. But, if it weren't for that, then I think we could have made it into the high 6s, and I think we're going to be at a good starting point for the upcoming Vegas
Now, before
race.
you had your traction issues, that's about what you would run in the 8th, because you were running high 10s. You got into the high 10s up in Vegas.
Yes.
Quarter mile.
Quarter mile,
yes. 8th mile, we were, before then, running high 7s, low 8s, and now we're running low 7s, high 6s. So.
Man, that's quite a difference.
And to your credit, it's an all-steel, real Dodge Magnum wagon, and you drive it to the track. This is a true street machine.
Yeah, to my credit, and really not my credit, everyone who works on the car, all the people that participate, I can't, thank them enough. Arrington Engines, Mountain View Performance. If it weren't for them, we'd never be able to do what we do. But yeah, we drive it everywhere. It has sunroof, navigation, air conditioning.
All the goodies.
It weighs 4,200 pounds, lightest at the track.
It's not good at lightening up vehicles. I mean, even the Challenger weighs 4,100 pounds.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. That big old fat Skyliner around the corner is only 4,000. And I thought that was a heavy, fat car.
Yeah.
Wow, what do you know?
Yep, they weigh a lot. Their boats a little bit, but, gotta love them.
And this is a perfect testimony that shows that the little things add up and really make your car work better. You did a bunch of little details that made a difference. Now the car's working good. This weekend, where are you going to be racing it?
We are going to be at the NHRA Summit Race in Las Vegas. Test and tuning on Friday night, and there's a Saturday race and a Sunday race. And I've got, I think, six races in the next 3 weeks. So
it's
going to be busy.
Both those races separate points races?
Yes, they are. Yep. This is the beginning of the second half of the season, and hopefully with all the new stuff that we've done, we'll be really kicking it up a notch and going some rounds and getting some points, because I really want to be in that top 5 to go to the Race of Champions on the Sunday of the ET Finals. I don't know about you, but I want to go.
Well, I'm somewhat ambiguous to how well you perform.
I'm talking about the car.
Yeah. I got an email from Richard that says, I think you're number 8 right now?
That's right, yeah.
Number 8, so you're working on moving up.
That's good. And what category do you run in?
Still not good enough. The pro class. There's Sportsman Pro, Super Pro Motorcycle, and we're in the pro class. So
are you competing with other street cars?
Yeah, street. Well, not really.
A mix,
they're mostly pretty full-blown race cars. There's a couple even dragsters in the class, but you can only go as fast as, I think, 8 seconds in pro. I could be mistaken. Don't take my word for that.
So shortly you'll be moving up to Super Pro.
Well, the thing is with Super Pro, you don't have to, but it's beneficial to have all those electronics and throttle stop and all that, and it's hard to run and be competitive in a class like Super Pro.
You're still foot brake racing. You're not using throttle stops and things of that nature.
No.
You're doing it all the old school way.
I mean, I don't use a trans brake. I do have a 2-step. Just a 2-step at launch. That's the only launch aid that I have. Most of the cars in the pro class have a trans brake, which helps tremendously, obviously, with reaction time. But
now, Alex, I'm reading questions off the Fote.com of the crew updates, and Skyhawk wants to know what's next for Alex in racing.
As far as progression and...
Well, are you going to just try to make the car faster? Are you going to step into another car?
It's funny that you asked that. I do have my Super Comp license, thanks to the Frank Hawley School. I went through that in April of this year. The Magnum is sort of progressing along. We're trying to keep it street legal still, yet make it a competitive bracket car, which seems like an oxymoron. It's pretty difficult at times, but I think the Magnum is going to really push the limits of being streetable here pretty soon.
Will it be time to get that tube chassis 69 Dodge Dart and drop that Hemi in there?
Well, I know that the aftermarket companies and the big car manufacturers love late model cars. And it's. I would love to try racing a Dart or an old Challenger or something, but
2013 Dodge Dart.
No.
Well, you could have the first tube chassis Magnum.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't be the first, but one of only
a few.
That's definitely a possibility.
Sometime
in the future.
You could tow it with your existing Magnum.
That would be nice.
How funny would that be? A Magnum towing a Magnum in a big trailer. I don't know.
Well,
I like that.
Back in the day, Big Willie towed his Daytona with his Daytona.
Really?
He had a street Daytona, and he towed the race Daytona.
Well, let's take a commercial break.
Yeah,
when we come back,
we're
going to talk about the NHRA finals coming up. We're going to talk about Virginia Street Outlaws.
We are.
So, stay tuned.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies, and other underside parts like correct link steering systems keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at CurrieEnterprises.com.
I'm Gary Scelzi, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Hi, I'm Dominic Scelzi, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Hi, my name's Giovanni Scelzi, and you're watching Speed Scene Live, and my dad's all washed up.
What?
Welcome back to more of Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, and TheFote.com.
Welcome back to the show, Speed Scene Live. My name is Lucky. Hot Rod Bob's over here. Alex the Car Girl's over there. Bruce Barker's way over yonder. And speaking of way over yonder, the guys out in Virginia, the Virginia Street Outlaws had their race. They've got their list right here. And, man, we have got, we're going to go ahead and make the announcement. The top 10 list for all you Oklahoma guys out there listening, you know, if we got Farm Truck and all you guys listening, the Murder Nova. Mike Keller is the #1 racer out of the Virginia area. Nick Bernardo came in second place. Chris Pritchett, third place. Scotty Vance, #4. Quentin Metheny. Hey, Bruce, who do you have on the phone there?
It might be Quentin. Hey, is that Metheny? How do you say that name, Quentin?
That is Metheny.
All right, like the famous jazz guitarist Pat Metheny.
Pat Metheny. Hey, Quentin, congratulations. You came in #5 on the list. What kind of car are you racing?
Got a 67 Chevy 2.
Ooh, that's nice, man. That's nice.
You're partial.
I hear you guys were, just because I got a 66 Chevy 2, that's why. Yeah, I hear that you guys, are the whole top 10, now, and remember, these are street cars, no prep track. We're all running in the low 5 1/8 mile range, huh? 5 seconds to 550.
Low fives.
That's some pretty badass times for street cars and no track prep.
That it is.
Now, no track prep. The track is clean. It's just not sprayed with VHT or anything like that.
No VHT, nothing like that.
No, nothing.
What do you have to do to get your car to hook on a track like that?
I've had my car for so long that I kind of know how it works, and a lot of the chassis guys were actually racing in with us. So I mean, it was a nice to have Mike Keeler there because he was actually the one that built my car, and he's the one that got it hooked up.
So you got to come in kind of soft, but have enough power to be able to lay it on at the other end of the track, kind of like a turbo. You know, it don't hit the tires real hard. Don't shock the suspension, but it comes on strong as you get into it down track.
Most definitely.
See, there you go.
There you go.
Talking the
Yeah.
tires.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow, I even threw a little Virginia accent in there just for you to.
Dang.
I've been talking to the guys out of Kentucky all week, and you know how that is.
No. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Now, Randy Hoffman came in number 6, Tim Harper number 7, Michael Seitz number 8, R.W. Jordan was 9, and Ricky Ashworth was number 10. Now, the Disco Nova was hauling ass, and then the car broke the motor.
Kicked it right off the side of the block.
Oh man!
Ouch.
Ooh, fatal.
That could ruin your whole day.
Fatal.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And then after that, he hit the guardrail.
Oh, jeez. And then Robert in the Thunder Chicken, he did really good, but then hurt the trans.
Yep.
And
there was also 2 farm trucks in there with us also.
no kidding. Anybody bring their dog with them? Now, I understand they're working on another date for the Virginia Street Outlaws, and you guys would really love to have your top 10 against the Oklahoma top 10. How would you feel about that, Quentin?
Oh, I'd love it. It'd be great.
Now, number 5. Who's number 5 on the outlaw list of Oklahoma?
I'm not real sure.
See, nobody remembers number 5. I hate to be the guy to tell you that. But Mike
It's
Keller,
all good.
they're going to talk about Mike Keller, number 1. And, Ricky Ashworth now at number 10. He's the farm truck of the Virginia Street crowd. He's the gateskeeper.
The gateskeeper, huh? Okay.
Well, when he's going to get picked on the most.
Yep, he's the one everyone's going to start at. They're going to pick on him first. Now, any sponsors, anybody helping you out in your car, Quentin?
Keeler Motorsports and Applied Nitrous Systems.
Nice. They do good work, huh?
Yes, most definitely.
And what size motor are you racing in that badass car?
Probably the smallest one in that little group of 10, 406.
Oh, a little 406, little small block.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, the little motor that could. Nice.
Yeah, I think me and Nick Bernardo are the only ones with a small block in that.
We just had a picture. Well, no, the picture we had was an earlier Nova. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
But congratulations, Quentin. Thanks a lot for calling in, and congratulations on making the top 10 baddest street cars in Virginia.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Hope to hear from you guys soon, and when we get that date, we'll let everyone know when the next Virginia Street Outlaws event is coming up. Thanks, Quentin.
Now you can check them out on Facebook, right?
You can. Go to Facebook and then put Virginia Street Outlaws. It'll bring you right to them. And this is going to heat up as the year goes on. You know, more and more people are going to want to get in that top 10. And one of the top 10 individuals at the NHRA finals will be Hot Rod Bob, because he'll be representing the Auto Club.
I'll be doing that too, yeah.
And cool. Bob, tell us what the Auto Club is doing this year at the Pomona Finals for the first time ever.
Well, we're going to be working with Larry Fisher from the NHRA Museum, and we're going to have Hot Rod Junction. How you doing, Larry? Are you on the phone with us?
I'm very excited about the Hot Rod Junction this year.
It's going to be great. Now, in the past, what we've done is you've taken cars out of the museum and had some cackle cars, and it was really antique stuff. But very little of it's street. This year, it's a whole different story, and there's a special for the people, for AAA members, right?
Yeah. Well, what we were trying to do is last year, we were talking to a lot of the guys who come to our monthly cruise night, our prolonged twilight cruise that Bob attends every first Wednesday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of folks were saying they missed the days when they used to bring their street rods out to the drag races and park in the parking lot. And, the show in the parking lot was as good as the show on the track sometimes.
Right.
And, we talked to NHRA and said, we'd love to capture that and, create a way that people can bring their street rods out and show them off and do it comfortably. I mean, nobody wants to park their street rod in a sea of, soccer mom mobiles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they tend to open their doors a little too wide, and they're not really the best drivers.
You come out the door dings and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're working with Auto Club, and we're making the Hot Rod Junction at the Auto Club Finals an opportunity to bring your street ride out and show it off.
All right, now, do we have any year breaks on what can be in there?
Well, we're pre-74.
Okay.
And, we hope that people will be somewhat self-regulating. I don't really want to see any 72 Pacers, but
we're looking at a gremlin right now.
And that you want to show off, and it's a great deal. As Bob said, we worked out a deal through AAA and NHRA, so that if you're bringing out your street rod for all 3 days of the finals, you can bring it out for $199. That gets you, your best friend, or your wife,
or both,
and the car in for all 3 days. And you're parked in the pits. You can't be in a better spot. And it's just 3 days of great racing and a way to show your car off.
Now, Lucky's already registered.
That's
He's going
right.
to be bringing his Nova, right?
That's right. And, I got to tell you, I've been an Auto Club member for over 23 years, so I'm really proud to be able to be part of the Auto Club display.
Yeah, this is going to be a great week.
I went out to the Auto Club employee car show a few weeks ago down in Costa Mesa, and I was blown away by the quality of cars that were at that show. And if that's any indication of the kind of cars that working with Auto Club can bring out for the Hot Rod Junction, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of street rods, a lot of real, true muscle cars. These are the cars that made the history. A lot of the same cars that are driving on the track in the stock eliminator categories and so forth. But we've got hot rods now. And normally at the cruise night that you have at the NHRA Motorsports Museum, there's 200, 300, 400 cars on a Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're looking for the same type of cars to come out for the cruise nights. If you are driving in from a long distance away, why not? You're going to get tickets for the event anyway. Get the ticket for the Hot Rod Junction. You don't have to pay for parking any longer. You don't have to park out in the middle of nowhere and take the tram in. You can park in Hot Rod Junction, 1974 and older. Hot rods, muscle cars, street machines. You get it in there, and it's going to be great. We're going to put on a whole show there. Now, just out of curiosity, it's just a show just to display, correct?
Yeah, it's just a display, no judging, so don't worry about any of that stuff. We also, recognize there's a lot of folks who love the nostalgia cars. So Steve Gibbs, who's real close to all of us here at the museum, is working with some of the nostalgia racers who come out to our hot rod reunions to bring some great old dragsters, some of the slingshot dragsters and early cars, altereds, etc. And there'll be a display of those cars in addition to the cars that are driven in for the Hot Rod Junction.
So we'll have cackle cars.
Whenever you get these guys together, you're bound to get a few cars that start up and bring tears to your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
You hang around between the rounds on the track. They'll usually start a few of these cars and cackle them, and it just brings back all the memories of the old days at Lions and OCIR and Saugus.
So we'll have John Ewald with his group of guys with the nostalgia Top Fuel cars. That'll be setting up there as well.
Right, guys like Ron Johnson and John Ewald, and there's so many of them that now participate in our hot rod reunions, and they just support the sport and support the history so much. Yeah,
well, Ewald, I know will be there, and he's going to bring his AAA insured 1958 Chevy Biscayne out, which is a beauty. He uses that as a push start car at the hot rod reunions.
Yeah, well, that's becoming a whole popular piece of the hot rod reunions. Is they restore the race cars. Now we're restoring the push cars too.
Yeah, it's great. One year we had Kenny Safford brought out his El Camino that I think he's had since he was racing Top Fuel when he was driving the Sauer Sisters car, the Oldsmobile powered Top Fuel car back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Now, if they could just restore the drivers.
Yeah, well, they're working on that. I mean, hey, what the heck? Shelby did it pretty good. I mean, he got partially restored for a while.
Partially, yeah.
Yeah, well, and, Tommy Ivo piloted his old car down the track at the last Bakersfield Hot Rod reunion.
Yeah, and he does. He comes out. He drives the Barnstormer at the Cackle Fest at the California Hot Rod Reunion. I talked to him a few years back when he drove the 4-engine car at the Hot Rod Reunion, and after he made his pass, he was smiles ear to ear, and he got out of the car. And he goes, "Now I know why I retired."
Yeah.
But he's going to be there. We're going to have a lot of guys that the who's who of drag racing that are going to be in that Hot Rod Junction throughout the day. I know Bob Morabas, Floyd Lippincott Jr. Will be there. He's always at the events. Ivo comes out. Kenny Safford's been coming out for the last few years, so it's not only going to be the hot rods, the muscle cars, and the top fuelers, but the guys that made the history. And you can be a part of this for $199. It includes 2 tickets, so you get general admission seats and your car up front and close to the action.
Now, Larry, I understand that you're in charge of the museum, the NHRA museum, and whose idea was this? Was this Auto Club's or was this the museum idea?
Well, it was, I think, mostly the museum's idea. We've been doing the car corrals with NHRA for a number of years, and it had been for a long time an NHRA deal to display some old cars and just add a little bit to the entertainment mix. And I stopped at Indy for the U.S. Nationals last year, and I looked at the car corral at Indy, and I started talking to the folks at NHRA, and I said, geez, just let us take the reins on this thing and see where we can take it. And so we slowly started cranking it up. We called it the Hot Rod Junction for the first time. We really now have made it a museum program, and all throughout this year we've been kind of amping it up and playing with this idea. And a few months ago we went to NHRA and said, hey, we'd love to get AAA involved because AAA is such a great partner for both NHRA and the museum as well as the sport. We just couldn't think of anybody else that we'd like to get involved in this opportunity. And we bounced it off of AAA, and I think I casually bounced it off of Bob Beck at one of our cruise nights.
Yep.
And everybody just responded the same way. They said, geez, how come we haven't been doing this before? I mean, it's just such a great idea.
It's a natural.
And that's all it took.
Well, I got to hand it to you. That's great that you guys are proactive. You have a fantastic museum, but not everybody goes to the museum, and this way you can kind of reach out and grab people that go to the race and say, hey, check out these cool cars. Why don't you come visit our museum? And that is really great that you're making the effort to be proactive like that.
Well, and if your listeners are not from California or the West and they're not going to make it out for the U.S. Nationals, don't let that stand in your way because, for the World Finals, but don't let it stand in the way because we're doing a Hot Rod Junction at the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis as well. And next year, for the 60th anniversary, we've got some really cool stuff in store. There's going to be a big announcement at the track during the U.S. Nationals at Indy this year to talk about the celebration we're planning for the 60th anniversary next year. We've done some Hot Rod Junctions in Gainesville, Elizabethtown. We did a Hot Rod Junction up at Epping at New England Dragway for the National there. And, it's just an awesome way to get folks out back at the track with their cars. And like you said, it's a great way for the museum to reach out to the community and keep the sport alive and keep these old cars alive.
Now, during the race, the museum will be open and the admission is free, isn't it?
Yeah, during the race, if there's a lull in the racing or your butt's getting sore, you can get up, get on a free tram. It'll take you right from the gate to the racetrack to the front gate of the museum, and the museum is free throughout the Auto Club Finals.
And there's great things on display. The Moon equipment, the history of Moon equipment is still there.
We have our Moon equipment exhibit. Right now we have 3 Art Chrisman cars here.
Wow.
That you just have never seen these cars side by side.
Mm-mm.
So you got to stop in and see them.
And as you walk in the door, you got Ivo and Grabowski's famous T-buckets.
Yep, the 2 T-buckets are here. And we're open during the Auto Club Finals. We're open the same hours as the track. So it's extended hours, makes it real easy to come. And don't miss out on Friday nights. We do a Night of Champions here at the museum, Friday night, after racing ends over at the track. Don't go home, avoid the traffic, hop on the tram and head over here because we get the current world champions to come over to the museum and they talk one-on-one with the audience. We have a little interview session.
Wow.
It's unscripted, totally candid. And I'll tell you that the dialogue between the racers and the audience and the guys up on the podium is not to be missed. Bob, you were part of that last year.
Yeah, last year you had me as the MC of it, and it was funny listening to the quibs between Caps and everybody, but mostly Jack Beckman.
Yeah, Jack's always in the audience. I think you'd rather be in the audience than up on the podium.
Oh yeah, I mean, last year at the Race of Champions or the Night of Champions, we had Jack Beckman, we had Ron Capps, we had Brendan Bernstein, and
I hear
people.
Pardon?
Anybody from Pro Stock?
No, we only had the big guys.
Bill from Mountain View Tire.
Yeah, no.
Huh?
Maybe
we had Clay Milliken on the board on the podium, and we had a great conversation with those guys. And I'll tell you what, you get them out of their normal element where they're not worried about the car. And we had Pedregon.
This year, John Force will be going around passing a hat.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah.
His sponsors. Too soon to make jokes about that?
Yeah.
Today, I think it was announced.
Yeah,
I think it is too soon.
But, guys, we're still going to have he and Robert Height in the AAA booth. So we're going to have two booths. We're going to have the regular AAA booth as you walk in the gate, and then in the Hot Rod Junction, we'll have the AAA collector car booth, and I'll be in that along with the other Bob. So you'll have the Bobs, meet the Bobs, and you'll be in there as well, Lucky, with your car.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. Larry, thank you so much for calling in. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, it's been great fun. We look forward to seeing everybody out at the Hot Rod Junction and at the Auto Club Finals. And don't forget, stop by the museum. When the racing's done, that's just the beginning of what's happening over here.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you want more answers about this, you got any questions about this, you can catch up with me on Facebook at G.A.A.S. or go Bob Beck on Facebook. I'll get you the information. I have the applications ready for you. If you're going to bring your hot rod or your muscle car, I'll get you the application out. Just contact me.
Nice. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this. We got Alex's hot rod. We got some video from the NMCA event. More.
Take care, Larry. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, guys.
I'm Phil Burkhart, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online, mention the Speed Scene, and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. MNHTires.com.
Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
Welcome back to more of Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, and TheFote.com.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am Alex Roggio. To my left, we've got Scott Lucky Hudson. To his left, we've got Hot Rod Bob Beck.
Hello.
And, of course, Bruce Barker.
I got a way left over here from
Over
Hot Rod
yonder,
Bob to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of like a left. I'm also to your right, so it's like the circle of life. It's
That's right, you're left.
Lion King,
Yeah.
Disney movies, Cars. It's all in Speed Scene Live.
That's right.
But now, Alex, you are heading out to Las Vegas this weekend. You're going to be racing, but you will also be at Las Vegas for the NMCA West event, right?
Yes, happening September 5th and 6th, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct. And 7th, all three of those days. Bruce, you have an interview with a driver by the name of Bothwell.
Indeed, I do. You know what? I wanted to get something out of the way first here, Lucky, because I have just discovered this thing popped up in the middle, well, not quite the middle of nowhere. It was on a computer. But do you remember weeks and weeks ago on the show, we were looking for, there was a Dan Horan, a Speed Scene Live sticker on his car.
Right.
And there was just this little piece of video was just completely missing. Couldn't find it anywhere.
Really?
You just found it.
You found it.
There it is.
Ta-da!
Which car is this?
It's his funny car.
I just had to get this thing up.
Oh, there you go. Wow. That's okay.
There's some proud-looking colors on that car.
I think that was Donnie Couch. I think he did an interview with them, and we talked to him about. Boy, that was months ago. And
that was at Nitro nights at Formosa.
Exactly. And I think Dan did very well that weekend with that Speed Scene Live sticker on there. Good job. Well, I'm glad you found that.
Oh, me too. All right. Finally, back to the show.
Now I can sleep.
To the show. Well, you know, a lot of the competitors at the NMCA West event will be out at Las Vegas. You know, everyone's thick in the points right now, and we ran into the Bothwell driver. Let's go right into the interview and talk to him.
It didn't hurt, did it?
I hope not.
Oh, good.
Indeed. We don't want anything to hurt at this point, because that's where we are at Speed Scene Live.
Here's the Turbos Direct Mustang. This is the Bothwell crew chiefs. Two brothers. They came out of Sport Compact. They dominated Sport Compact. They wiped out every competitor in their class so bad that they were the only car in their class. Nobody even wanted to compete against them. They came out here and started running a Mustang, turbo-powered Mustang. They've had some tragedy in the past. Had a really bad accident at Las Vegas. One of their cars actually got sideways, went airborne and flew over the wall. But they're back. They're back stronger than ever. You can never put the Bowman crew chief or the Bothwell crew down, because these guys, they know their stuff. That car carry the front wheels for the first 100 feet. That car was beautiful, beautiful.
That's a
Talking to
beautiful
Rick, you've got one of the most professional and probably the biggest teams out here with the Turbos Direct Mustang. You guys are an exceptional team to reckon with, and you've had some great success. It must be a real pleasure for you as a driver to have crew chiefs like the Bothwells and have all these people behind you giving support. It must be really special to you.
It sure makes things good. I mean, we have such a good team that backs everything we do. That, you know, with Turbos Direct, and they gave us some good parts this weekend, some new billet wheels and the turbos, and just up the performance that much more. It's the first time we tried this, really get down the track on a small tire, and we actually finally got it to work because of these guys, you know. The hard work everybody puts in.
Well, you've had some ups and downs, but you guys always eat better than anybody else on the track.
That's right. That's why my wife loves to come too. She loves eating the food and hanging out with me, and my daughter too.
Congratulations. Anybody besides Turbos Direct you'd like to mention?
Well, obviously Bothwell Motorsports is a huge portion of this whole thing, and Turbos Direct, and we just want to say thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, they had this fantastic buffet spread out at every event. Just like a 20-foot-long table covered with food, and everybody in the crew eats really good. And I asked him, I said, how come you guys have such good food? And he says, well, we don't really pay anybody to work on the car. So we figure we'll just feed them really good.
We pay you in good food. I know. I always love when I go to the track, and in the morning I smell people in their motorhomes cooking like bacon. And then lunchtime comes around and like hamburgers, and I'm like, why you gotta make the whole track smell like that and make me hungry?
Well, you don't have a kitchen in the Dodge Magnum. That's why.
No.
You got everything but the kitchen.
I have everything but the kitchen and the kitchen sink.
Well, you got to work on that. That's next.
Hot Rod Bob is the official announcer at the at Irwindale.
Yes.
And, the announcers are an important part of every event. They not only let you know what class is coming up next, if there's an oil down, what the schedule is, but they give you the lowdown on each and every car, and I love a good announcer that knows his stuff. One of the up-and-coming announcers, Steve, is the official NMCA announcer.
Okay, little break in the action up here in the tower. Hey, what's going on up here? I haven't seen you downstairs at all. Are we soloing it this weekend?
We are solo. We're it's a lot of work up here by yourself, but we got great weather, good track staff up here, great racing going on. Glad to see Speed Scene Live in the house. Hope to see it out in a couple weeks on the old internet there.
Oh, it'll be out there, and I got to tell you, some incredible racing going on here. Of course, me being just a nitro funny car guy, I got blinders on. Those pro streets and all these other classes with the small tires, pretty impressive. What I like most of all, old body styles, new body styles, turbocharged, supercharged, nitrous. It's reminds me a little bit of nostalgia funny car, a little bit of variety. It's really fun.
A lot of variety, and they are starting to find some of the big cubic inch and twin turbo packages. Big run numbers. They got 590s, 250 mile an hour cars. Mike Bowman setting it off yesterday in his last session of testing. He went 597, 241, and John Mahovitz, actually the world's fastest modular motor in the country now. It's been verified with a 604, 241 mile an hour pass yesterday, 232 cubic inches with twin screws on it. And you can't beat that.
Man, when those turbos spool out, I'm talking some serious horsepower. The thing that's real deceiving is he can hardly hear those cars. If they're running against a blown supercharged car, he could hardly hear that turbo car. But let me tell you, when they spool up them turbos and set the power, they're making some serious power down track.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be driving one of those turbo cars, especially next to like a guy like John Shelby, who's got that huge, loud combination with that blown Hemi, and you get a guy like Scott Oakes, who's running that new package there. You could hardly hear him over the burnout, which is kind of a cool contrast for the fans, because you see kind of what was the package of yesteryear and what technology's doing by bringing the turbos into the play. So we'll see. It's hard to say. Turbos versus blowers. And nitrous versus turbos and blowers. The variety is awesome in Pro Street. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm of course seeing Joe Lapone out here. That guy's a pretty dead serious pro stock driver, right?
Yes.
And then we show up at Pomona, and he's out here driving that car. In fact, he's your #1 qualifier.
As of right now, yeah. There's still one more session of qualifying coming up next, and it is optional. So the qualifying ladder could stand. And we'll see what Joe Lapone has in store for us, as he had a little bit of a hiccup down at the big end of the racetrack.
Okay, back to the action here.
There you go. What happened at the end there?
I think there's a knock on the door. It's the pizza guy or something.
Yeah. Hey, the cars are running. Look at the track.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got a race here.
Yeah.
Well, NMCA West has a great event, and sometimes they bring out like car show and different events. They even brought out a dragster to one of the events that was just sort of on display, sort of a cackle car. And let's hear what Donnie has to say to them.
Okay, we're at Pomona, California for the NMCA races. Look who we run into, Bobby Wilton, legendary Southern California engine builder for cars, boats. Bobby, we find this beautiful car here. You just restored it. I understand you found it 2 years ago. Well, what's the history on this car?
Well, it's a Woody Gilmore car, and I bought it from a gentleman by the name of Bob Wright that had Butler and Wright Automotive in Pasadena. And he was going to run it in a junior fuel class, so I took the car and put a blow-in small block in it and ran it on methanol and low percentages. And when I got the big block, when Dill Doss came up with the big block, I put it together and switched it over to the big block, and it became the world's quickest and fastest top fuel Chevrolet powered dragster.
Of course, you quit running it in, 1968. Sold the car, or the car went away regardless, and you found it 2 years ago. How did you find the car after all these years?
A matching car of my car. And we took it to Pete Eastwood and had him to redo the whole thing, and wherever it needed changing, the rails and stuff, he put new rails on it, and it's identical to the car I ran in the 60s.
And of course, we saw you at Irwindale last week, cackling this thing and smelling the nitro. And I was in the tower, but I could see that big smile from the tower all the way to your pit area there. I know you're enjoying it.
Oh, I'd love to hear the thing run, and I'm playing around with a new deal coming up pretty soon. I'm going to run a Hemi Chevrolet for Mr. Arias. And
how about that, folks? Mr. Chevrolet here.
And we'll see how that works out.
As a cackle car, right?
No, this is going to be a competitive car.
Breaking news, folks, here on Speed Scene Live. Any more you want to tell us, Bubby? Come on, don't hold back.
That's about it. I'm getting up there in the age a little bit, and I got to slow down here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what you said about 10 years ago to me, but you're still around. You're getting ready to cackle this car. We're going to show that. But let me tell you, there's nothing better than a Chevrolet cackling on nitro. Bubby Wilton, thanks for being on Speed Scene Live today.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Okay, folks, Bubby Wilton.
You're expecting a Hemi, aren't you?
Scares me, and I'm not afraid of anything. Listen to that Chevy power.
That fuel's expensive. You can't run it too long now.
No, it is a Chevy.
Yeah, it was a Chevy on nitro, as the great Donnie Couch says. It scares him.
And he's not afraid of anything.
That's right.
Apparently.
Now, Mustang Madness is a class that the NMCA competes with, but we'll show you that next time. In the meantime, Open Comp was a class that is very popular. Let's check into the NMCA Open Comp class. Here's the winner's circle. Here's the car. And, I think this driver wasn't even expecting to compete at this weekend. And here he is. He ends up holding the Wally.
Nice. I love when that happens.
Hey, I just got done interviewing your buddy in his car, and now you're here. All the same people, the same family, the same friends. They're all behind you guys, and you put two cars in the winner's circle.
Yeah, great day for me and my family and my race family as well. I've been working hard at it for a long time, so it's been a long time coming.
Now, unlike the other driver, you were actually planning on driving this car?
Yeah, I've been racing now for about 7 years, and been the bridesmaid a few times for the Wally, so this is my first one, so pretty special.
The first one right here, NMCA West at Pomona. That's a good deal.
It'll get better than that.
Congratulations.
There's something real pretty about a Wally in a setting sun. It's just, man, that golden light shines on that golden statue.
There is a house in Pomona that, never mind.
In New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, I see where you were going.
You caught.
Oh, what do you know?
Donnie, Bruce, Bob, whoever you are, Bruce.
Yeah, Bob.
I don't know if you can find NMCA winner number 2 on that hard drive there.
Okay.
But we've got the ARP Outlaw class, 10.5 tire, Ryan Toaster Jones. And Ryan is kicking butt in points, and he will for sure be at Las Vegas. Let's talk to Toaster.
ARP Outlaw 10.5, this is the final round.
65 Nova out of Canova Park 406, A-File Classic.
Two Chevrolets, a lot of horsepower, a very small tire. You can see there's not much tire on those back of those cars. These guys are going to put on a great show. Eighth mile racing, the right lane takes the win. Look at the beer cans on this sport.
That's good. There we go. Everybody up. 1, 2, 3.
That's a nice Nova.
That is.
Hey, congratulations on the win. You got a Wally. That's a big deal.
So much. I can't stop staring at it, sorry.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Any sponsors you want to mention?
Absolutely. I want to thank Mickey Tires for coming on, Mickey Thompson Tires for coming on board this year. Deeds Performance, Fab Tech for all the awesome chassis work, and then QMP for their motors. Make consistent horsepower.
You had a great day. The car worked perfect. It looks perfect. Everything went your way. No mistakes.
Yeah, I don't know about mistakes. Tricky track this weekend, but really the whole crew, we pulled together and just figured it out one round at a time. And lots of great competitors, great class, you know, a nice full field, and we had a blast. It was great.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
You know, beautiful car, and I think when they pushed this car up to the winner's circle, they have a wing on the back. There were about 20 empty Bud Light beer cans stacked on the wing. And then they took it all off right before the pictures.
Well, that's what those big wings are for. They're picnic tables.
Picnic tables, yeah.
You gotta celebrate after you get a Wally.
Hey,
I mean,
you know,
I wouldn't know yet, but I'm going to.
Understandable.
He wasn't driving. He was done driving. The race is over, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not accusing you of anything, Lucky. Like,
No, what are you trying to say, everybody?
Defensive.
Yeah. I popped the top on a Pepsi. I don't know.
Well, this weekend, Bruce, we got enough time to do what's going on. And Alex, you will be out at Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yes. I will be in Las Vegas for the NHRA Summit race. 7 and 8, I believe.
Nice, nice. Currently number 8 in points, looking to move up.
Currently number 8 out of like 50.
And people can go to moparmax.com, read your blog, find out how your weekend went, the whole deal.
Yep, or AlexTheCarGirl.com or Alex Rogio on Facebook. Any of those places you can find out how I'm doing in the points and all the new stuff that's continuing to go on with the Magnum.
Nice. It's the evolution of the Dodge Magnum.
There you go.
No kidding.
And Bob, where will you be this weekend?
Well, I'm thinking of going down to Match Rate Madness at Verona. Steve Sherman, the Shermanator, is going to be putting on a great race.
That's
so I'm going to try
right.
and catch that on Saturday. But Sunday, I'm going to be at the Canyon Club up in Agora Hills for a doo-wop concert and hot rod show galore.
Oh,
wow.
it's going to be
both
so
together.
fun.
much fun.
Oh, yeah.
The doo-wop and the hot rod.
Right.
Cool.
We're going to start that one about 11 o'clock in the morning and show until about 6, then go right in for doo-wop concerts.
So do you know if Mark's bringing the turquoise Edsel?
Mark is bringing his Edsel, yeah. He had the Studebaker out at the meeting last night, the pre-show meeting, but he's bringing the Edsel out.
All right.
So we have a friend, Mark, that you know from the radio industry and I know from the car shows.
Yeah. It's going to be a fine show, man.
Well, this weekend is also the ANRA Summer Nationals, and if you get a chance, see if they got any T-shirts for sale. It's got that great Fry Racing Team logo on it and the picture of the 57 Chevy. And another thing happening all the way out in Norwalk, Ohio, the best track in the world, Norwalk, Ohio, Summit Motorsports Park, August 23rd to the 25th. The NMCA, well, I want to say not West, but they're just regular NMCA, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
They will be at Norwalk, Ohio. Plus, they have a Hemi shootout and a Cobra Jet shootout all going on. That's all happening, and you can get a pound of ice cream for $1.
Oh, that's the place you can do that?
That's the place. It's a piece of heaven for drag racers everywhere. Yes. If you ask a drag racer what heaven looks like, they'll show you a map quest with the directions to Norwalk. The Hillbilly Arm Drop Drags, August 30th and 31st. That's going to be at Combs Airport, located between the cities Prestonburg and Paintsville, Kentucky. We will have Kent Rose on the show next week talking all about it, but you can go to armdropguy.com and get more info. And then I'm heading out to Pigeon Forge Shades of the Past car show out in Tennessee, September 6th and 7th. Come on out and see me in the Curry Hedman booth.
Man, look at that. All that stuff going on. There's no way racing ends at this point in our history, in our lives.
Now, Cruising for the Cure's coming up, and Alex, I understand your car will be on display.
Yeah, in the Hedman Header booth. That's going to be fun.
Cool.
I think I'll be signing autographs, I believe, and, showing off the Magnum. It's going to be great.
All three of us are going to be there.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Speed Scene Live reunion, right?
So where the heck am I?
We got to have a remote. You got to bring your stuff out. We'll have a remote from Cruising for a Cure at Orange County Fairgrounds.
Yeah, okay, now we've got a plan.
There we go.
Tune in next week. We'll give you more info on that.
All right. Hey, you know what happens next? The encore presentation of the show. Great to see you again, Alex the Car Girl.
Great to be back.
And as well, Lucky Hudson.
We'll see you next week before the last show before the big road trip.
The big road trip. Take two, of course, for 2013. Bob, good to see you. And great stuff from the NHRA Motorsports Museum this week.
Yeah, thanks, Ed Fisher, for coming on the show.
Yeah, buddy. All right, the encore presentation of tonight's show comes up next. Thanks so much for joining us. We do love it when you tune in every week, and we'll try to make sure that we just keep rocking this baby. Just rocking it. All right, coming up next, of course, as you know, be sure to check out the archives page for our 4 favorite last shows. You know, if you've checked out that page, you'll realize that, of course, the last 4 shows are always our favorite last 4 shows because that's kind of the way the timeline works.
Always that way. But then we put them on YouTube, don't you?
That's right. The YouTube, the YouTube channel's just this huge fat thing, and you can just go in there and find these shows from like way back.
Way back.
Yeah. All right. Hey, good night, everybody. Next week.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, and TheFoe.com.